There's only one way Americans could ever trust Democrats. That's my focus in today's preamble. Democrats have been showing up on left-wing media claiming that the America First coalition is bad and Democrats are good. But Democrats are getting some pushback, believe it or not, from their once trusted allies.
From the book, President Biden didn't even recognize George Clooney at a fundraiser that the movie star was actually hosting for him. Why should voters trust Democrats when it's clear so many in your party went to great lengths to keep Biden's condition hidden from the public?
I can't tell you what happened between George Clooney and President Biden. I wasn't at that event. What I can say is that we're not looking backward. We're going to continue to look forward, because at this moment, we've got real problems that need to be addressed.
Just very quickly, I want to ask you, Congressman Jeffries, you say we're not looking back, we're looking forward, but what happened in the past has to do with what's going to happen in the future and whether voters can trust Democrats. As you look back, you were in a leadership position when President Biden decided to run again. Should you have done more at that point to intervene?
It's a great question in terms of whether voters can trust Democrats or not. Clearly, voters are trusting Democrats.
Can voters trust Democrats? Mind you, most Democrat voters don't have high standards. They voted for a guy who campaigned in his basement, remember? They voted for a woman who none of them voted to represent them in the race for president. Remember, Kamala Harris was imposed on Democrat voters by party apparatchiks. And yes, Democrat voters voted for a party that put them and their families' lives at grave risk with the big lie that Joe Biden was mentally fit for office. By the way, did you notice the questions from CNN as they try to pretend that they were part of the biggest scam and cover-up in U.S. history? But we have the tape.
I think it makes little kids with stutters feel when they see you make a comment like that.
First and foremost, I had no idea that Joe Biden ever suffered from a stutter. I think what we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You are
to
no.
watch somebody on stage
That's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar. Plenty of people have diagnosed your father from afar, and I'm sure it offends you. Your father-in-law from afar. I'm sure it offends you. You don't have any standing to say.
I'm not diagnosing him. What I'm saying, Jake,
you just talked about a cognitive decline.
That Joe Biden
I have one last question for you, Laura. You can't
times on stage, and it's very concerning to a lot of people that this could be the leader of the free world.
Okay.
That is all I'm saying. I genuinely feel sorry for Joe Biden.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that didn't age very well. Even though the biased press knew about the scripted questions Joe Biden was getting, even though they knew about the bright tape on the floor to guide Joe Biden where he was supposed to go, even though they watched Joe Biden call out to a dead congresswoman that he had sent a condolence letter to her family over a month prior, despite the falling upstairs, falling on stage, the wandering, the dazed and confused moments caught on CNN's own cameras, Jake Tapper said it was all a stuttering problem. Ironic that Jake Tapper has a book out now that I will not be promoting here, but the satire site, the Babylon Bee, summarizing what Jake Tapper's book is worth, as their headline screamed, Jake Tapper uncovers startling evidence that Biden's decline was covered up by Jake Tapper. My only comment on Jake Tapper's book is that it's unfortunate that it didn't come out during the China virus when toilet paper was in short supply. But it wasn't just Jake Tapper and CNN who participated in the real big lie. Democrats in and out of the press participated in this sophistry.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth.
He's sharp, he's focused, he's bright.
I don't have any concerns, and that's from personal interactions.
This version of Biden is the best Biden ever. Not a close second.
Alert. Sound.
I mean, the Republicans are like good at distractions, Do you think people close to President Biden are being honest about his mental state?
And these slip-ups kind of happen.
I mean, there should be no concern.
So I don't really care if he was off for 90 minutes and didn't put on like people wanted him to put on.
I saw no more in his declaration than I've seen in anybody else.
Sharper than anyone I've spoken to.
This is a very sharp president.
Incredibly sharp, incredibly probing.
He is sharp. He is on top of things.
The president has no impairment.
And the pipeline of videos that aren't telling the full truth.
All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong. And let's look at President Biden.
People see nobody suggests he's senile, and that's disrespectful of senior people with any kind of memory disability.
The left, whether they work at CNN or MSNBS or in the rest of the media, they knew the truth, that Joe Biden was mentally unfit for office, and hid it from our people. The majority of the Democrat Party, they knew it too. In fact, they coordinated their party messaging to try to hide it from the country. I understand the left-wing press and the Democrats wish to move on and to not be held accountable for the immense damage they did. As my father used to say, spit in one hand and wish in the other and see which one fills up first. The truth is the Democrats lied. They harmed us, and they imperiled our lives in an effort to garner and keep unchallenged power. They have earned Americans' disgust, condemnation, and distrust. Yes, I'm looking at you, Hakeem Jeffries. We can't trust Democrats with our vote. We can't trust Democrats with our security, and we certainly can't trust them with our money. There is one thing Democrats could do to reverse the trend that sees the Democrat Party going the way of the Whig Party. But rest assured, looking at guys like Hakeem Jeffries, they are incapable of doing this one thing. They don't have the brains, they don't have the worldview, and they don't have the soul to do this one thing. If the Democrats are to save their party, they must do what is impossible to do with this current batch of Democrats. They must once again commit to being Americans. You know, folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.